What's up, guys? What's going on? First of all, let's blame the content creation on the camera that is filming this right now, because I had the whole process of how I got this on the jack. I'm going to show you guys that actually in a minute. But of course, the camera decided, one, it died, two, then the memory card was full, then three, whatever little bit that I did have was completely erased because I had to format the entire memory card. Anyway, guys, you saw the title. My 997 Turbo has finally dropped the shit. Finally, it actually got the infamous coolant leak. About a week ago, I was coming from Caffeine and Octane, and I was driving this car extremely spirited the entire day, you know, and had a blast with my partner, who also has a Guards Red 991 Turbo. And so when I was about 15 miles from my house, I stopped at a gas station and I saw a little bit of smoke coming from the front of the car. I thought it was the front of the car, but it was actually blown from the back to the front. Get out, look underneath the car, there's coolant being leaked. Pray for me. Anyway, so I was about, like I said, I was about 15 miles away from home, roughly. So I decided to drive the car home because I didn't want to have to either tow it, and I didn't want to have to come home, get my truck, get the flatbed, and do all that whole mess. So I just drove it on the highway. It was like 40 degrees out that day, so, you know, turbo temps, it was cool. I made it home, the car didn't overheat, just smoke. As soon as I made it into the garage, whatever popped, just completely, whew, this whole place was full of coolant smoke, and it stunk. But anyway, guys, so just got the car up on the quick jacks, and I got it up extremely high. Check this out. So normally the quick jacks, let me get my tape measure. Normally the quick jacks would bring you up roughly about 19 inches or so. No, roughly about 20 inches or 19, yeah. But I managed to actually get stacked two. So they make these so you can stack them. I managed to actually stack two of these stackers in the front, the back, and two in the front, and both on the other side. That way, because if you ever done this job, which you probably haven't, that way when it's time to pull the engine out, I'm gonna have ample amount of room. I'm gonna have roughly about 22 inches of clearance, because this whole engine have to come out the bottom here. So I have not exactly assessed anything yet, but you could see the coolant. There's coolant on the floor there. The entire underneath there is white. I got coolant here. Like, there was just, this didn't come out the engine. This is just coolant. It just came from everywhere. All of this was all covered in coolant. Okay, guys, so I gotta get busy now with pulling out this engine. I've never done this before. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure out how to do it now, because I rather play with my car. Because if you guys watch this channel, you know that I'm Mr. DIY. I do everything myself. Whether I know it, whether I've done it, whether I've not, I'm gonna learn. It's a lot better to learn on my own, make my own mistakes, than to pay a shop $20,000 for what I'm about to do. I'm not doing that, because as far as I'm concerned, every shop is a thief. And that's okay. I got time and the resources to pull this thing down. We're gonna figure out what's going on. I'm gonna do a bunch of things, but this is gonna be a couple series, because there's no way I could do this all in one video, and I don't want a 5-hour video. I only want to make these videos roughly around 20 to 30 minutes. So what I've purchased so far in my little shop area over here. So far I've purchased this big old box here. Now, what is in that big old box? Let me show you the side. Hold on. I got a table cart from Harbor Freight, and I got this thing on sale. Yeah, so that table cart is a 1,000-pound table cart, and I do need it to put in the back of this when it's time to bring the engine and transmission down as one, because that's how it comes out. It all comes out together, which is fine because I'm going to do a clutch change, a clutch upgrade on this as well, because 997 turbo is just not enough power for me. So you need a more powerful clutch to put more power. We'll get to that at a later date. But anyway, let's start taking it apart. Open this thing up, airbox, show you guys what's going on. All right, guys, so first things first, this is electronic trunk. We're gonna open the trunk. Then we're gonna disconnect the battery, because when the trunk's open, things are on. Now, all right, let's do it. Battery's disconnected. So, you know, I tried to look for like, you know, some sort of DIYs or something like that, but there is nothing online really, because it seems like whoever owns a Porsche, they don't work on their Porsches. I don't know what it is. I guess everybody's afraid to work on these cars. Well, if you want to own one of these and you don't have a whole lot of money, you better learn. Watch these steps. I'll show you as much as I can, because I know this is going to be a lot of work. And I'm not in no rush. I don't even know where any of the bolts are. So let's gotta show you guys where this thing is leaking. So you can see it took a whole crack right there. So my leak is gotta be somewhere towards the front of the engine. I was thinking it was probably more back here in the back portion, because this is where the water pump is, but it seemed like the water pump might be fine. Something that popped in the front there. You can see it's still dripping. Come from right there. So won't be able to really tell until I take the engine out. Man, do I really have to do this? Yes. Let's start by taking the bumper off. We got an E88. These always looks good. So it's like 5 torque bolts. These torque bolts, they hold this back panel on. You gotta take the back panel off, so we could access the intercoolers and access the bumper to come off. All right, that's 5, guys. That is just comes right out. Now you can see the intercoolers. You can see the bolts. There's a bolt up here for the bumper, and yeah. Let me get this off. Do the same thing on the other side. All right, guys, we're gonna label everything because a lot of stuff are gonna come apart. So just gonna put these together and label them. Or I'll just tape them on top of this plastic piece. So as you're taking out parts, I always recommend just putting, so you don't have to label everything, just put some screws back where you got them from. Simple. They'll be there when you're ready for them. It's like these tail lights. I just screw the screws back in. Now to take off the bumper support, then we're going to get to the intake. Alright guys, so now with the bumper off, you can see a bit more of the catastrophic mess. My beautiful stainless steel and titanium exhaust has coolant all over it, so now I have to spend time shining that back up. But I'm gonna take off the muffler. I'm gonna take off the muffler and take out the intake. Alright guys, so the beautiful thing about this exhaust, one, it's light, and two, it got V-bands right before the O2 sensors. So get the whole exhaust off, no problem. Man, I can't wait to clean this back up. It's so filthy. Look at all that coolant that caked on underneath this. Yeah. I just gotta get a nice cleaning right there. Put these V-band clamps back. Alright guys, so I found one failure before even taking the engine out, and that is the water pump. So, right here on this side, let me get this. The light too bright. You can see, hold on. You can see where basically water started leaking down the bottom of the, this is the water pump here, and right underneath here is wet, and also the hose right underneath the hose is wet as well. I think this camera's the light's too bright, but yeah, there you go. You can see some of it now. You can definitely see that was one of the causes, but that still doesn't explain why water is dripping over here from, basically water's coming from right here. So I still got to figure out where that's coming from. So it looks like I gotta pull out the plenum first. So there's these two clamps here, which are like 6mm clamps. And then I'll be able to get the intake. So let me pull the plenum out. Hopefully it's a 7mm. Yes, it's a 7. I'll put the bumper, I gotta label the bumper screws. Just gonna put them on a bench for now. It looked like none of this has ever been taken apart before because all of this was in there tight. I just use a screwdriver to just pry up the rubber on the intercooler sides and on this side, and yeah, once you pry it up, you just pull back. Woo. A little Rubik's Cube and air box is out. Make sure you keep these rubber grommets in place. Now it's time to take out the intercoolers. So we got this 7mm bolt at the bottom of the intercooler here. This is the intercooler pipe. Same thing on the other side. We'll pop that off, and we're gonna pop all the bolts. There's a couple bolts holding the entire intercooler framing in. I'm gonna get that out. You know what? I don't think I need to take out the entire intercooler to get the engine out. I think I just need to, take off these hoses. I'm just looking at it. There's really nothing else connected to the engine besides these hoses, the inlet hoses. So I'm just going to take the other one off on the other side. And, in the next videos when we get to actually getting this engine out, then I'm going to see if I even need to take off the intercoolers. I really don't think I need to. Yeah, same thing on this side. Doesn't look like I need to take off the intercooler at all. Even on this side, the inlet outlets are disconnected, so we're gonna just go from there. All right, guys, so I've gone ahead and just removed all the body harness. So basically there's a couple connections on this side, and then this little box piece on the bottom you want to pull off. Then on the other side, the O2s and another connection on this side, and then towards the back there, right back there, you can see that's one of the main harnesses, one at the top, and then there's another one down there at the bottom, and then coming through that hole there, there's another harness piece. So just to disconnect those all. So what I want to do right now though is, so I don't have any way of charging the AC back. I want to actually pull the belt off and actually get a whole visual of how this belt is routed. So when it's time to put a new belt back, because I'm going to just buy a new belt, I'll know exactly how it's routed. But yeah, I'm going to pull the belt off, and then I believe this Torx bit back here is what should release the AC compressor. I hope it releases the AC compressor, because these are AC compressor lines here. I just want to move this off so I don't have to worry about the AC. I'm gonna take the plate off at the bottom to get the belt out. So this plate down here, I'm gonna just pull that out. I believe it's just 4 torque bits holding it in. So it ain't gonna be that simple. Of course it wouldn't be that simple. That big plate at the bottom is actually part of the engine mount. So I can't even take that plate off until I support underneath the engine. So I got the belt off the AC compressor. So let me just see if I can pull the AC compressor out as it is. Alright guys, so that's it. That's all I'm doing for tonight. I already, took apart a bunch of stuff. So last thing I was about to do that I was working on is taking out the AC compressor right here, which is held on by 1, 2, and there's a third bolt that's in the back there. And the problem is with that bolt is the throttle body is in the way. So you got to pull the throttle body out to get that bolt out. So I got to pull the throttle body out. Problem with the throttle body, because Porsche didn't want nobody to touch their cars. On these torque bits here, let me see if this thing zoom in, clear up. So basically on this torque bits, you can see that there's this is the portion that goes on the bolt, and then you got this portion, this arm that comes out like right here, the elbow. The elbow, I'm gonna grind down this elbow. Yeah guys, so I'm gonna clean up my work area because I hate work area looking like this. And also take the bumper and everything else, all the extra parts, I'm taking them into my shed where everything will be getting stored, because I don't want a bunch of mess around here. I don't want nothing getting kicked around or chipped up. And also, I'm gonna need as much space as I can for when this engine finally does come down and out. All right guys, so welcome to the shed. Everything is safely stored, stacked in here. So nothing like I said, gets messed up. But yeah guys, that's it for this particular video. Like I said, this is gonna be a series of a few videos because there's a lot more work ahead. I probably got about 10% of it done today, if even so much. But guys, stick around. I'm gonna be as detailed as I can with this process in, out, all the maintenance that I'm gonna do. So hopefully maybe you will try some of it, maybe you won't. I really don't recommend you do unless you kind of do these things regularly. But yeah guys, until next time, thank you for watching. Peace.